All right, everybody. Steve with Real Progressives. Hopefully you all are having a good night tonight. I have had nothing but tech troubles every freaking time I've tried to go live lately. I'm trying to get cute, trying to use OBS, trying to go on YouTube, trying to do a bunch of things that I just don't have enough me to go around to make happen at the moment. So stay tuned. I don't want to put out an inferior product just so I can say I did it. And I would rather cancel a live stream than just put crap out there. So hopefully that'll be better for you all, and you all can calm down, like my friend Teresa Sanders out there, who is never shy on letting you know you missed the mark. All right, so with that, I want to talk to you all about something that I think you all have obviously seen out there, and that is that, since during the election, we had nothing but nonstop Russian scaremongering. I mean, it was like relentless. And there was Robert Reich, who was fanning the flames of how just absolutely awful Donald Trump was. Now, mind you, Donald Trump is a pile of junk, so I don't need to say that, but maybe for some people that need that constant reinforcement of that kind of nonsense, Donald Trump is a pile of crap. Does it help? Hopefully you can get over it. I don't need to say it again. But that said, I remember going back a few elections ago, and we had Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney was the second coming of Lucifer. Before that, we had John McCain, who would have brought about the end of days. And before that, we had. Every election's got Lucifer supreme at the top. It's going to smite the almighty humanity from existence, and it's going to be a nonstop complain fest. It's going to be a nonstop, partisan, oh my God, if they do that, we're going to lose our right to have an abortion. Oh my God, we're going to lose everything. Oh my God, it's nonstop. Well, this go around with Donald Trump was so far over the top that it was almost embarrassing to contribute, to be a part of that. And I say this not because I support a single thing the man stands for, but because you lose all sense of perspective. You lose all sense of being strategic and how can we make this moment work for us? Are we going to just forsake the next 4 years? Is this all about beating down the sky so that we can be ready to have this, greased skids the next election go around? And honest to God, that's about what it feels like right now. If that's politics, fuck politics. I'm not down with it. Okay. So, I remember in 1984, there was this really, really kick-ass 2 minutes of hate part. They had all the people sitting there screaming. They had the Ingsoc, fuck you, Goldstein. It was like straight out of like a heavy metal, magazine or something. People scouring to see who else is cheering and who's screaming, making sure they have the proper amount of disdain for this Goldstein character up on the screen. And everywhere I go, chats, burner chats even, chats of sort of progressives, party loyalists, you name it, are talking about how Putin has finally won. Putin did the great coup d'etat in the United States. Putin got his reward and all this other stuff. And, I just chuckle because I haven't seen anything like that at all. And I try to keep my mind occupied with paying attention to this stuff. But it's very difficult to care when you see the charade and see the bullshittery, right? So here we are, flash forward. We're going into Trump's third year. And we're already talking election cycles, and we're looking at 2020. So they're dusting out the old models. The Biden model, I'm sure, is tan, rested, and ready to run in 2020. You got the Bernie Sanders model that's going to come out, tan, rested, and ready to run in 2020. You got Tulsi that's going to come out, ready to run. But you've got the Kamala Harrises of the world. And this this is where it starts getting icky. You've got the beta O'Rourke's coming into the world. And if you've experienced life beyond the progressive bubble, you realize that as crazy it is inside the progressive bubble, and it is freaking absolutely ridiculous inside the progressive bubble. I mean, people are sitting there talking, they're trying to act like they're elder statesmen in this game here. They're like, well, you know, let's be really clear here. Let's not critique personal life of Kamala Harris. Let's only focus on policy. Let's try and keep it above board. That's like, well, that sounds just great. That sounds grand. But honest to God, the more we get into this, the more you realize the corrosive effect of the Trump hate beatdown that went on for the last several years. It has absolutely super fucked these people's minds. And all they can think about is, how do we beat down this vast right-wing conspiracy or right-wing takeover or right-wing whatever? Well, if we stay the course with what we've been doing with the Green New Deal stuff and fighting hardcore for these values and so forth, it's going to take care of itself because people want a New Deal. I mean, the numbers are ridiculous what the people want, okay? But that's not how this game is playing out. You've got the typical asshats coming up there. Well, Bernie wouldn't beat Trump right now. He wouldn't have beat him back then. He definitely won't beat him now. And then you got the folks that are cooler than the rule. I mean, they're dropping gang symbols and they're ready to tell you how Bernie's a sheepdog and he's a this and he's a that. So you got all these characters out there flashing symbols and, you know, trying to be coolios. And the fact is that we're paving the way for a Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris has got the money. She sounds like Hillary, you know, basically with pea soup poured all over her. And we're talking about the most bland, nasty diet of them all, potato soup, whatever, minus any kind of salt or pepper. We're talking about nasty ass freaking broth. No flavor broth. Now she's going to go out there, I'm sure. Count on it. She's going to go out dancing at a club and try to be one of the people. Or she's going to do an Instagram thing to try and cop a little bit of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's game, like Lizzie Warden sitting there drinking her beer on camera. You know, you're going to have, you know, Kamala probably moonwalking. Maybe she'll do the booty walk. Maybe she'll do a 3-tier drop, show herself twerking. I don't know. She's going to do something to try to appear like she's just a normal person, right? Did you see her policy proposals that came out? They're about as inspiring as a hangnail, okay? There's like nothing. They're not even platitudes. It's just pure garbage served with a smile, a winning smile, because she's just a pretty lady, I guess, right? So that is going to be the winner chicken dinner. Now, the flip side to this is that you got Cory Booker lurking in the wings. You've got all this nonsense, these people that are truly not progressives in the least. They are bona fide neoliberal. But they have pumped so much Trump fear porn into the world, so much ridiculous fear, so much over-the-top hyperbole, that any kind of a sane policy-based discussion is going to be met, and it is already being met, with the idiocy we heard previously. What do you want, Trump? Now, you know, I am not here to defend the duopoly, and I'm not here to build up or beat down a third party. But I will tell you this. No matter how much we want to talk about the excitement of a third party, it doesn't take much to realize the numbers are still very, very substantially inside the duopoly. People like their comfortable lies. They like their lies. They like them nice. They like them warm. They like them repeated. And here's something I'm going to put up. This is a fun little meme I found out there earlier today. And this right here is, unfortunately, this is how the brain works. Sir, we're receiving information that conflicts with the core belief system. It's just like, yo, man, get rid of that shit. Get it out of here. And that's what we got here. Folks, these people have been brainwashed to believe that Russia has got the balls of the kingdom in their hands, and they're clutching the pearls, and they're like, do as we say. They're up there mignonette, and they are scared. Again, as they always are. They always vote scared. Every freaking election, they vote scared. And they run around and they shame the shit out of you for not being scared equally, for their frigging herd-like mentality that leads them off a cliff, and by extension, all of us off a cliff every freaking election cycle. Every single one of them. We get the pleasure of falling off the freaking cliff because the herd just pounds you through. I mean, just steamrolls you right off the damn cliff. Now, Hillary didn't get elected, and I will tell you, thank God, because can you imagine getting the exact same policies we're getting with Trump? Only difference is we can't criticize her because she's a progressive who gets things done. You imagine that shit? You imagine? I mean, honest to God, I am more terrified of the left going back to sleep or the center going to sleep than I am of the right wing. And that's scary. I hate the right. My God. But at least they're honest and they're evil. They're honestly evil, man. There's no hiding it. They're evil, evil, evil. And they know it and they're proud of it and they're not shirking it off and they're not sugarcoating it. They're not faking it. They're just flat out evil. But the Democrats, these freaking establishment hacks, they are the real gutter snipes. They're the real scary, scary clown in the sewer. Whisper, come on down here. Come on down. Come on. If you look right now in an unprecedented way, you've got more power going out there with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez than I've seen with just about any other candidate. I wouldn't go so far as to say Bernie's last time because Bernie was just friggin' on fire. But I will tell you that she's got the minds and the imagination of the people right now, even though she's a freshman. I mean, she's got the imagination of the people. So what does that mean? Well, let's throw that away because that's not safe. You know, they're going to beat us over the head with socialism. They're going to talk about this shit. Can you imagine how badass it would be if Democrats actually were even 1% the socialists that they're accused of being? Can you imagine how absolutely awesome it would be if that were the case? I find it to be preposterous because there's this fake game that goes on. The right wing complains that the quote unquote left is socialist, but these people couldn't be any further from socialist. They are true Wall Streeters. They are true friggin' give you a nickel, charge you a nickel, friggin' neoliberal pond scum. Okay? And they've learned to code switch. They can speak progressive here and there. And for the people that are like weak-ass progressives that don't really pay attention, they can get sucked in and miss the dialect. They can miss the fact that these people aren't enunciating their ands properly. So they don't know that they aren't real progressives. They're fake-ass progressives, right? They're milquetoast, nonsensical bullshit artists. Now, you look, and you can already see they put Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez into the group that will be digging into Trump, trying to impeach Trump or whatever. What a waste What an absolute waste. This is their way of trying to make sure that she toes the line, that she's a good Democrat. Instead of allowing her to take the energy that she had and put it toward the things that we need, they frigging literally clipped their wings. So what do you get when you get folks like Kamala Harris being propped up? Folks, the propaganda about anti-Trump, the establishment game of propping up these shitheads, and then the actual shitheads who vote for him that get swept away in this stuff and herd us out like freaking cattle. It's coming. It's coming. Get ready. And listen, you can vote third party. I mean, I'm not here to tell you not to do it. I'm here to tell you, though, that the numbers are so out of whack, so skewed, so crazy going the other direction. Forget the quote unquote independents. I'm telling you right now, the people that vote are skewed heavily toward the establishment, and they're skewed heavily toward the duopoly two parties. And I can tell you right now that once the Democratic machine gets going, it will put all its money, it'll put all its energy, it will put all its effort behind that neoliberal that they want. Now, there's been some changes to the superdelegates. They're talking about giving a third, and you got to get at least 10% of the vote during the primary and all this other stuff. We are also way, way, way more in tune with any kind of stinking, fiddling around. But nothing's really been done, has it, to impact the way these elections go? Nothing has been done. I haven't seen a whole lot of anything. In fact, it doesn't take much to look down in Florida and see what happened to Tim Canova. Doesn't take much to look around at Georgia. It doesn't take much to look around all over the country to see our election system is still every bit as bad as it was in 2016. And these midterms showed the same thing. So you get the establishment that is going to be advancing a shitball candidate. You get the establishment people and the lukewarm progressives who are just like, well, what do you want, Trump? And what we're going to have once again is another shit show. And we haven't even had the time. Well, we've had the time. But instead of dealing with changing hearts and minds and teaching them about the stuff that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is pushing, a Green New Deal, federal job guarantee, student loan elimination, modern fucking monetary theory. Oh, snap. Instead of being able to get people to pay attention to this shit, they are out there already in droves advancing. What do you think about Beto? He's a good-looking guy. He's got a winning smile. Pretty good guy. What do you think about Beto? Does he fucking know MMT or not? Does he advance a Green New Deal or not? Does he advance Medicare for all or not? If the answer is no, then my answer is hell to the no. Now, the next question is, what about Kamala? Again, her platform that she came out with is a bunch of platitudes. It's a bunch of nonsense. Nonsense. Now, I'll tell you, this is going to pain me to say this. Elizabeth Warren, who really let us all down at Standing Rock, who let us all down during the primaries, and who let us all down ever since Bernie conceded and let us down, that whole experience, the Elizabeth Warren experience, really, really, really left me with like the sick stomach of feeling betrayed. But she's come out with some good proposals lately. So if you're just talking policy, I hate to break it to you, but she's come out with a few good ones. And it would be wise to pay attention to what she's saying. I'm not telling you to vote for her, but I am telling you that she's bringing a different flavor to the game. And no, she's not a socialist. And no, she's not pushing for the things that we're looking for. But she does have some incredibly important things that she's advancing that would be very unwise to not listen. Now, why would we as a movement, if we are even a movement anymore, why would we see us already splintering, right? You got the folks pushing for Tulsi. Well, Tulsi, she came from a strict conservative Hindu background, and so she said some homophobic things that she has really fallen on the sword hard for and tried to explain away. And you know what? Coming from a Christian background, coming from a conservative background, people do change, and I believe she's legit. Straight up, I believe she's completely legit. And I also believe that she's taken a very, very strong stand in, anti-war, anti-coup, anti-stuff. So she's got a great platform, no problem. No problem at all. She's supported Bernie. She's got a good background, right? She's got a good bipartisan background. In other words, not like she's going Republican. The idea is that I think she's got a good platform. Whatever. Let's see. I have no idea what her stance is on economics. I have no idea what her stance is on a lot of things. And so I reserve a lot of judgment. Make no mistake about it. I've been pulling for Bernie for a long time. That hasn't changed. Okay. I happen to know who advises him. That's why. I'm not worried about whether you think he's a sheepdog or not. I'm really focused more on the economics because I know without that, there is no progressive agenda, friends. So you look and you say to yourself, what do you want? What do you want? What is it that you want? And I can tell you, you're not getting it with Kamala Harris. You're not getting it with Cory Booker. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I don't know if our movement has enough energy behind it, enough strength and conviction to really push a Green New Deal the way it deserves to be pushed. And even worse, we've got a lot of Green Party people that were once in our camp that have chosen to be completely not interested in any way, shape, or form in shaping this debate. And I regret to see that happen because they are very, very important to changing the dynamic and changing the conversation. And it would be really, really good if they embrace that role. So I'm hoping that they don't check out and start talking about Jesse the Body Ventura and other weird shit to make them completely irrelevant. Okay. They go Jesse the Body. And I mean, just now we got to kind of go, okay, all right, moving on. Sorry, folks. I guess you're gunning to see if you can split that 1% down to 0.5% now, right? Is that kind of the deal? But in any event, as we go through this process, nothing can be more important to me than understanding what the fuck we're fighting for. And I have seen no indication whatsoever that people are going to push these candidates to be truly progressive. They're going to push these candidates to take truly progressive positions. I have seen no interest whatsoever. I've seen a lot of, do you like this person? Based on what? Their winning smile, the glint in their eye, the way they wear their glasses, the way they drink their beer on Instagram. What exactly is it that you're asking me to judge them or assess them by? And I think that that's a fair question. I think that it's time that we started changing the narrative. If you're listening to me and you agree with what I'm saying, trust me when I tell you this, if you just jump on a bandwagon, I don't care how great Tulsi was or is, show me that you have a Green New Deal wrapped up inside there and you understand how to pay for it. If you're voting for Bernie, well, you already know Kelton's advising him. You don't need to know much more than that. If you look around, you can clearly see that there's only a few people that actually are pushing for a New Deal. The rest of them are back there to, well, people that make over 100,000 we'll give this tax incentive to, and the people that make 25,000 we'll give that one to, and maybe we'll try and do a sort of a job pilot to see if we like this idea of a job guarantee in one small little township, and if it doesn't work, it won't work across the globe because we don't know what we're doing, but we want to sound progressive. I want to make sure that what comes out of this election cycle is not just another wasted 4 years. I want a bold, progressive agenda. I'm not willing to tread water another 4 years. Stop accepting crumbs. But see, that's the thing. I'm not willing to accept crumbs. But I'm just one voter. When I see others that are willing to say, well, she's a damn good, card player, that's got to count for something. Or he's a great hockey player. He likes the Capitals, or he's a good whatever. When I see that, and that's supposed to matter to me compared to a bold progressive agenda, we're fucked. I'm fucked anyway, because I kind of care about this progressive agenda thing. It's the whole point of doing this. Otherwise, I can just go freaking watch True Detective or something like that. Go play a video game, read a book. Why care about doing this? I mean, think about it, right? If you want to see change, if you really want to see change, you got to fight for it. It doesn't happen by going along to get along. It doesn't happen by being afraid to offend a vote blue sycophant. It does, if you see somebody advancing Kamala Harris at this point, you got to ask, what the fuck's wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you, for real? I mean, you gotta really, really, really just hate people to start there. You can't look at her background and say, wow, now that's a winning background right there. Let me get on that bus, baby. You can't do that, not with a straight face. Maybe some identity politics, I don't know. Maybe she'll beat Trump, that'll do it. I don't know. But I can tell you this, she's got shit for a platform. It's garbage. It's complete garbage. Can she be reasoned with? Not in my, how, why? Her handlers aren't looking for her to put a progressive agenda out there. That's not what the game is. She's Hillary 2.0. Tan rested and ready to run in 2020. Folks, don't forget what a New Deal looks like. God damn, this is what you've got to be fighting for. I mean, really? I mean, is it going to be perfect? I don't care. No, it's not. None of them will be. Because just like I've got to rely on some dipshit that doesn't value a New Deal, that just, well, it's not Trump. I got to rely on them. I got to vote. You know what? Their vote's going to impact me too, right? Just like that's going to be imperfect. The deal that comes out of this imperfect system will probably be imperfect. But it will be a hell of a lot better fighting for a New Deal than it will be sitting there on the sidelines yelling and screaming on one hand, and on the other hand, the worst of them, going along to get along with a corporate neoliberal hack that's a pro-war, pro-police state, pro-drug war, pro-garbage part, just a shithead that smiles, makes you feel like, oh, well, you know, Beto has a pretty firm handshake. I like Beto. Anyway, I think as we go forward, it's important to ask the questions. Do you stand for a federal job guarantee or not? If they start hedging, fuck them. If you talk about a bold new agenda with deficit spending and the idiot brings up inflation, fuck them. You're an idiot. We're nowhere near an inflationary place right now. We have absolutely got maximum fiscal space available to us. It's important that we get the right people elected to office and Congress and the White House. Because here's the last piece to this that I didn't bring up earlier. Who do you suppose Kamala Harris would appoint to the Federal Reserve? Who do you think Kamala Harris would have advising her on economic issues? Larry Summers, maybe? What neoliberal do you think would be running the Treasury? Ask yourself who Bernie Sanders would appoint. Do you think Stephanie Kelton would have a place in this? I don't know. Maybe. What do you think about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's chances of making a real impact, aligned heavily with a President Sanders? Think about it. How about a Ro Khanna? I say this to you because I don't think you think about the broad range. Maybe you do. Let me not say that. I don't think a lot of people consider who is going to get appointed into these key roles to run government once somebody gets elected. I don't think they think that far ahead. I do. That's what I'm thinking. That's where I'm banking. I want to see the kinds of people running these shows that know how to get shit done. Every publication out there these days has been trying to take a run at MMT. And every one of these dipshits says they just want to print money. Well, once they say the word print money, you know that they've lost all value to society right there. And it immediately, it's like, no, time out and go. Get the hook. You proved you don't know your ass from your elbow. Time for you to bounce. Skedaddle with the cattle prod. Bounce. Go. Get out of here. Move. We don't print money. That's not how it fucking works. Period. And so these publications are coming out there because they're laying the groundwork for all these neoliberal hacks to come in there and say, ha, 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 magic money theories. Magical money theories that help people. Oh, such a magical thing. Let us investor people tell you. Let the investor class advise you. Let Wall Street tell you. It's happening. But we're out there in droves, tons of Twitter fights, and they're fights with economists, not just like, you know, Johnny Joe down the street yelling, hyperinflation, man. What about Venezuela? Not that kind of dummy. We're talking about people that get the shit, okay? And they're not saying stupid things like that. They're actually out there fighting this stuff out, working it out. I mean, there's real momentum in changing the way people understand money and the way they understand what's possible with a progressive agenda that has not been understood before. And this is a key thing. If you don't see lights going on behind the eyes with people about how our federal finance really works, then they are probably not the people that should be running anything at all. If you don't understand the nation can't go broke, you don't deserve to be elected to office. Bam. If you don't understand that the nation creates money every time the Congress authorizes it and destroys money every time it taxes, you don't deserve to be an elected official. You have no right. Your value is zero. Zero. If you can't figure this shit out. Because we can't get anything done if you're lying to the public. If you're that misguided, you're not doing anyone any favors. Keep your eyes out for these candidates. This is not some silly thing. This is the most important thing if you care about getting health care. That's right, health care. If you care about ending wars for oil because you want green energy in time to keep the planet hospitably healthy so that we can live in it, well, you're going to want somebody that knows how to spend the resources into existence. You're going to want to know how to spend money as a federal government, a currency issuing government. You're going to want to know that. You're going to want your president to know that. You don't want a dummy, an economic illiterate running the nation. You don't want it, trust me. You know, how many years have we heard about the national debt coming to kill us and come after our grandchildren? These liars. Folks, this lie has killed more people. You know, we talk about when is capitalism going to finally pay for the deaths it's created. I want to know when the neoliberals are going to pay for the crimes they've committed by faking that deficits are going to kill us, that the national debt is going to kill us. I want to know when Pete Peterson in their foundation and the people that push it are going to be strapped down in the electric chair and ride the fucking lightning. I want to know when they're going to ride the lightning. Strapped in the chair, strapped in the electric chair. This can't be happening to me. I want to see the. I'm so fed up with the liars. I am so fed up with people that lie about the nation being broke, but then write a $700 billion check to the military to go out there and bomb the hell out of the world. Give me my fucking health care now. Get rid of these student debts now. $1.5 trillion of absolutely unnecessary burden on kids and people that lost their careers during the great global financial crisis that are now in their older years that are strapped with heavy debt, who have tried to repurpose their existence to get a second, third, fourth career in an economy that will not support them. Get rid of that debt. Is Kamala Harris talking that way? Hell no. Oh, no. No, she's not. Is Beto? No, homie is not. If they aren't boldly talking about this, they don't deserve to be your president. They don't deserve to be a congressperson. They don't deserve to be the damn dog catcher. They don't deserve to be an alderman. They don't deserve to be the librarian. They don't deserve to be nothing. Because I'm telling you right now, the cost of neoliberal idiocy, the lies, the fraud, the fakes, that talk about debt and deficits being so scary, have killed more people than our wars will ever kill. And you don't realize it because you don't realize that so many things are a slower death than a bullet to the head. We're about to have record colds going through the Midwest. So cold, you can count on the death toll being like really yucky. People are going to be hit with a cold they have never experienced before. There's going to be people on the East Coast that are going to get slammed with cold too. They're not going to have shelter. And they're going to die. And you know what? Every freaking bit of it is a political choice made in economic illiteracy and neoliberalism. You think Kamala Harris and Cory Booker and all these freaking turds like Sherrod Brown, who came out the other day against Medicare for all, you think these people are really fighting for you? They're going to be fighting for a Green New Deal? I'm telling you right now, not Trump is not enough. Not Trump is not enough. And that's where you've got to go. That's where your mind has to be. Because if it's not you, it'll be no one. Because these freaking sheep will go right off the cliff following Kamala and wherever the Democratic money take them. That's your story, friends. That's your 2020 presidential election cycle story. Is Bernie your perfect guy? Probably not. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there still butthurt over the things that happened, and I don't blame them for being upset. But I can tell you right now, if you put your thinking cap on, you're going to realize that there's some things out there, because you're playing games with people that don't listen. Bernie made the best of the situation he could with a frigging group of people that are completely and utterly vote blue no matter who, that believe that Putin did this, that, and the other, and he had to play ball in that shithole. You could say he could have left, but guess what? It wouldn't have done a thing. It wouldn't have done a thing. I'm telling you right now, this is the worst part of it. When you realize how quickly the average person slipped right back in after that, you realize that the hardy band of people that are really still pissed and are really focused, you can fit them inside of a damn thimble. And that is American politics. It's about 5 minutes of cognition, and the rest of it is whatever they saw in the boob tube that night. They don't listen to these live streams. They don't go out there and watch alternative media. They don't pay attention to activism. If it's not in the Washington Post or the Wall Street Journal, it didn't happen. If it's not on MSNBC or Fox News, it didn't happen. And that can make you pissed, or that can get you ready to get into action. Or it can do both, but hopefully it drives action. And action is what this whole thing's about. And that means eat one, teach one. That means getting the word out and talking to people. That means learning how to sell an idea about a Green New Deal to these folks that are literally not typically paying attention. I'm going to put this thing back up here for a minute, folks. And remember, this right here, that right there is what you're up against. That right there is what you are up against in a big, big way. And I hate to say this to you, but I have experienced for years, I debated. I've watched some recent converts who have learned about modern monetary theory here, at least recently. And I remember, now I'm just going to paint this picture for you in a quick, short order. Imagine 4 years ago when we came out at Real Progressives pounding out taxes don't fund spending. And remember the heads snapping around and whipping around and freaking out and saying, oh, I wish I could show you some of the screenshots of the beautiful love stories that were sent to me back in the day. Maybe even some of the video clips that were put out about me and all the crazy nonsense that was said about me. Well, now, 4 years later, you see Kelton up there everywhere. All of a sudden, it's like, I'm not getting apology letters, man. I keep checking my mailbox. No apology letters. I keep checking my inbox on Facebook. Nope. People still aren't sending me I'm sorry letters, Steve. The assholes that put together the video clips and stuff like that. Nope. No recanting. No saying, wow, we were wrong. None of that. I don't know why. I would think that it'd be the first order of priority to make right or wrong after they said so much bullshit. But you know what? They didn't. So let's go ahead and make them eat crow anyway, and let's get us a Green New Deal. Let's go ahead and advance each one to each one. And let's remember that the people before you were trying to make this known when people didn't even know who the hell Stephanie Kelton was. You know what? Burners didn't even know who Kelton was. I'm not joking. They didn't even know who she was. We're out there every day pounding, boom, boom, boom. It's a cult. It's a this. It's a that. I'm still waiting on the apology letters, folks. When are they coming in? I want to get tattoos of all the apology letters. So sorry, Steve. I shouldn't have said you were a cult leader. I'm an asshole. Yes, you are, but I forgive you. I mean, seriously, here we go into 2020. And you got Kamala Harris. Why? Because we spent more time dealing with people trolling truth instead of advancing it. And it let them go ahead and get themselves ahead with Kamala and old Jolton Joe Biden. Crime Bill Biden. He's a well-spoken young Negro. That kind of crap. Joe, yeah. What an enlightened white dude, huh? I'm telling you, folks, the apology tour should have started a long time ago. I should have been getting friggin' stacks of apology letters, but it didn't happen. I still got the battle scars from all the bullshit. And you know what? 2020, you're going to get a neoliberal. Yeah, that's right. You're going to get a neoliberal president if you don't figure it out quick, too. Can't say that I didn't tell you 4 years ago and kept every day. You can't say that'd be a lie. I mean, you could say it. Why not? You probably... But I can tell you right now, the tape don't lie. I got years of proving that. I've been saying the same thing, and I won't change because it's true. And the more I'm vindicated with it becoming more and more true, the more the happy dance will start when we finally win. I'm not celebrating shit until we actually get a progressive agenda. But I'm not against getting an apology letter. Anyway, with that, my name is Steve Grumbine. I am the founder of Real Progressives. Folks, if you enjoy what we do and want to help us out, please, we'd love to have you volunteer with us. If you'd like to become a monthly donor, we'd love to have you. We need money, of course. As we get forward here, I do have my OBS studio getting ramped up more and more. I'm still a novice at it, folks. Forgive me, but I'm trying to make it so that it's a good experience because I don't want to just jump over there and put out crap. But we will be migrating most of our video operations over to YouTube soon. So please follow us on YouTube. Go over there to Real Progressives, smash the subscribe button. Go ahead and like videos, comment on them, help us get past the YouTube algorithms as well. And more importantly, folks, we really, really do appreciate your support. It is a tough slog when you're trying to tell people things that they don't want to hear, when you're out there beating the streets trying to do things differently than the herd. You're the nail that came up out of the wood, and people take the hammer and try and slam you back down. Folks, we just keep popping our head back up because that's what we do. So please keep supporting us. We need your goodwill, and that means sharing. It means commenting. And I don't know if you know this or not, and I'm going to take just a second here to tell you. Years ago, we started the Real Progressives group. It's got 20,000 people in it. Now, you all know a group is only as good as the people contributing to it. 20 freaking thousand people in Real Progressives group. It'd be great if our MMT friends decided, instead of playing in groups with 500 people, jumped in there with a group of 20,000 and started trying to help educate them. That's a hint. That's a beg. That's a plea. Get on in there. And then for those of you who like to learn MMT, we also have Modern Monetary Theory for Real Progressives. It's a group with about 4,000 people in it. Actually, Facebook did a little modification. We're down to like 3,800, 3,600, something like that in there. But we've also got pages. Modern Monetary Theory for Real Progressives. And we also have Macro and Cheese. Now, Macro and Cheese is our podcast. We have the first 6 episodes of this podcast. We've talked about it for a long time. But we got the first 6 episodes finally produced and ready for release. So we're finishing up setting up our Libsyn, getting our RSS feed out there, getting our iTunes set up, and we've got all the beautiful promos for it. We're very excited. Some really, really good interviews, starting with Ellis. We've got Bill Mitchell. We've got Pavlina. We've got Fidel. We've got Stephen Hale. And quite frankly, I think that you guys are going to really enjoy it. So keep looking out for Macro and Cheese. If you like podcasts, they will be produced. They will be nice. And hopefully you'll find a great way to enjoy your drive into work or wherever it is you listen to your podcasts. So without further ado, I'm going to let you guys have a great night. Hopefully we'll catch you very soon. On the flip side, I'm Steve Grumbine. Have a good night, everyone.